Welcome to your introduction video to Hope on the Ground. Hope on the Ground is our short-term teams program that is a part of Education Equals Hope. My name is Cameron Vivanco, and I'm so glad that you're with us. I'm so glad that you're going to bring a team or come down on a team and be a part of what we get to do here. Today we want to look at what is Education Equals Hope, what is Hope on the Ground, who do we work with, and just kind of give you a broad overview of what you're about to get yourselves into. Education Equals Hope, if you have not seen already our introduction video there of how the scholarship program works, please take time, hit pause, go do it right now, go watch that introduction video. It's only 3 minutes and 55 seconds. So Hope on the Ground is our short-term missions program that comes to serve alongside of us here in Ecuador. Hope on the Ground, our desire with teams as they come down is to create relationships between people who are coming and the ministry sites where these students are served. Sometimes Hope on the Ground teams are going to work with the grandparents. Sometimes they're going to do construction projects. Sometimes they're going to do children's ministry or youth ministry or guided study hall or practice English. Sometimes they're going to go into students' homes, do maintenance work on those homes, change out a tin roof, maybe pour a concrete floor where there was only a dirt floor before. We all know in ministry that the more relationship we have, the deeper and more profound and more healing those relationships can be. And that's part of the goal of Education Equals Hope, is to bring people on both sides of this paradigm into relationship together, that the church would be healthy, that our students would be as healthy as possible, and even those who come on short-term teams, that they get to experience God in a way that is different than what they see at home, and that they can be healthy, maybe healthier as well for having done this and been a part of it. So let me tell you what some of the ministry sites are that you'll have a chance to visit. If you're coming down on a vision team, you'll probably visit 4 to 8 of these sites. If you're coming down on a work team, you'll probably visit 1 or 2 of them, as work teams have the opportunity to go a little bit deeper, well, a lot deeper, and create deeper relationship because you're pouring into one place. So the first ministry site that we have where Education Equals Hope started is a place called Carmen Bajo. Pastor Fabian and his wife Grace are the pastors in charge there, and we have roughly 50 or 60 students in the program there. The next ministry site for Education Equals Hope was a place called Emmaus, and that was a short-term team that came down in 2006 and said, we want to pour into this community, into these students and these people, and they have been supporting them with scholarships. Emmaus is in the far end of Quito. They have roughly 50 or so students as well. Then we have the Episcopal Church of Cristo Liberador here in the northern part of Quito again. The community there is where we got to hold a welcome party for the presiding Bishop Michael Curry when he came. And we have a third Episcopal site. It's called Buen Pastor. It's in the far end of the city. Something distinctive about their program is that their students doing outreach is a part of how they have designed who gets to be a part of this micro scholarship program. They call it the mountain, on the side of the mountain, and the students themselves get to do outreach, caring for others, even if they themselves are in desperate and difficult places. Another ministry site is called Dios es Amor. That program has about roughly normally 40-ish students, and something that they have done is that they have discovered hiring a part-time teacher to do study halls. So many of these students come from homes where their parents may or may not know how to read or write, and that someone who is pouring into them, helping them make sure that they get their homework done. We've seen incredible things happen and wounds healed out of behavior, out of aggression, things that are changing and softening in students simply because they have a trustworthy relationship and someone is pouring into them. We partner with Pastor Luis and his wife Margarita up in Gualsaqui, which is a Quechua village village, maybe 2 hours north of Quito. And so they're a pretty closed community, but we get to have an insider. We get to support Pastor Luis and his wife and their whole church to provide for the education of students in desperate, difficult places there. We also have another ministry site in the rural part south of Quito, about 4 hours. It's called Riobamba. Immigration is a big issue there, but it's immigration from the countryside into the city. There's very little higher education, and by that I mean secondary education, very few high schools out in the countryside. So most students, if they want to go to high school, they have to immigrate into the city of Riobamba, and we get to help them and support them in that process. We have opened 3 new ministry sites this year. The first is an Episcopal site called Santa Maria down in Esmeraldas. It's the coastal area of Ecuador. It's about 6 hours from here. We just opened one in Cali this year. It's 12 students in a rural area. It's near Youth World's retreat center, El Refugio. And speaking of Youth World, just a quick aside, as Education Wills Hope, we can't exist in a country without a legal partner. And in Ecuador, our partner is Youth World. Youth World does all our back office receipting as a legal entity through which we can channel the money so that we can reach the students. We have 3 more ministry sites. One is called Casa Dalia, and it is for women and girls coming out of vulnerable situations. That mostly means sexual slavery and trafficking. We have a home for former street boys called Casa Gabriel, and we just this year were able to come alongside Casa Dalia as they do outreach to women in prostitution, and that their children have not been able to have the school supply list, so to even be able to take advantage of the opportunity of education. But those 3 ministry sites, Casa Gabriel, Casa Dalia, and Amadas, we have the incredible privilege of walking alongside them while they are healing post-crisis. But these first 9 ministry sites that I told you about, that is our heart. We get to help prevent that any of these young people would fall into a crisis that would land them on this side of the equation. So that's who we work with. That is what we do and how we do it. We're so thankful that you're coming. We're so thankful that you get to be a part of this. And the next video up for your next meeting, you'll get to learn a little bit about Ecuador, the culture, the geography, and what you can expect. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.